The American Civil War raged between 1861 and 1865, but across the Atlantic, in Britain, life continued. So what were the British doing during this time? Were they simply watching from the sidelines, or was there more to the story? While the United States was embroiled in a bitter war between the Union and the Confederacy, Britain had its own concerns. As one of the world's leading powers at the time, Britain had strong economic, diplomatic, and moral stakes in the conflict, despite officially remaining neutral. One of the most significant aspects of Britain's position during the American Civil War was its neutrality. Officially, Britain did not take sides. However, the conflict had profound economic implications. Britain relied heavily on cotton from the south to fuel its booming textile industry. So, despite public support for the Union's stance against slavery, there were those in Britain who sympathized with the Confederacy, especially among the industrialists and merchants. This reliance on southern cotton led to a delicate balancing act for Britain, and when the Union imposed a naval blockade, it disrupted trade. The Confederacy, in turn, hoped to leverage this dependence to gain British support, but Britain wasn't easily swayed. However, the war was not without its diplomatic tensions. In 1861, a major incident almost brought Britain and the United States to war. The Trent Affair occurred when a Union warship intercepted a British ship, the RMS Trent, and captured 2 Confederate diplomats heading to Britain to seek support. This nearly led to war between the two nations. Luckily, cooler heads prevailed. Britain demanded the release of the diplomats, and the United States complied. This incident was a reminder of how fragile the relationship between the two nations had become. Britain's political leaders were divided on the issue. Prime Minister Henry John Temple, Lord Palmerston, for example, sympathised with the Confederacy, seeing it as a way to weaken the Union and perhaps keep Britain's power intact. However, many in Britain, especially among the working class, supported the Union cause, largely due to the strong abolitionist sentiment. One of the most prominent voices of British abolitionism during the Civil War was the influential writer and politician John Bright. He was a staunch supporter of the Union and viewed the fight against slavery as a moral obligation for all nations. Bright and others in the abolitionist movement worked tirelessly to ensure that public opinion in Britain would remain firmly behind the Union's cause. Public opinion was split. While some saw the Confederacy as a way of maintaining the cotton trade, others were staunchly opposed to slavery and felt solidarity with the Union's fight to end it. Though Britain stayed officially neutral, many British citizens didn't sit idly by. Thousands of British volunteers fought in the war, mostly joining the Union Army. Some were motivated by idealism, others by the promise of a paycheck, but their involvement highlights the depth of personal engagement that Britons had with the conflict, even if it wasn't officially sanctioned by the government. So, while the British may not have directly participated in the American Civil War, their involvement, whether through trade, diplomacy, or the actions of private citizens, was far from insignificant. The war may have been fought on American soil, but its reverberations were felt across the Atlantic. Britain's delicate position during this time speaks to the complex relationship between nations in an era of global politics and empire. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating insights into British history.